Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup by Smashcast TV. We're here in a match between the Prime NND and Happy Feet is the last best of 3 out of the playoffs for the day. And we have the favorites for this tournament at Happy Feet. Some coming really strong from the group stages, fighting against some of the weaker opponents, in this case the Prime NND. They haven't faced each other yet, but it's going to be an interesting matchup regardless. That said, guys, my name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today. Let's get right into the draft, shall we? The Prime NND banning out Magnus, Night Stalker, Bristleback, and Terrorblade, picking up Crystal Maiden and the Slaughter. Happy Feet ban out the Trim Protector, the Nyx Assassin, the Darkseer, and the Timbersaw, and they pick out Axe, a Warlock, and Kunkka. So Happy Feet for now, picking up some good teamfight heroes, the Axe, Warlock, Kunkka combo. Kunkka, who recently received a buff, so that he's actually much more usable. And this is also going to be, mind you, a 7.06, the first 7.06 match, or the second 7.6 match of the day, so we're going to see a bit of a variety of picks. The Kunkka here for Happy Feet is actually quite powerful. Now it's much easier to use this combo. It's honestly ridiculously easy. Kunkka lost all his skill cap with that last update because the landing torrent is hard, sure, and there's a little bit of a skill ceiling, but it really isn't that much. And landing the boat is actually really easy right now. So, no more surprise that Kunkka is being picked now. In combination with Axe, is also a Happy Feet pick, so it works nicely. The Prime NND try out the Slaughter Lifestealer strategy again. No major changes to these heroes. The Crystal Maiden almost received nerfs, so it's actually mainly not that strong of a lineup for the Prime NND. They didn't seem to have read the patch notes. They just profit. Also, slight change for Happy Feet. No teleportation, no big deal. Honestly, you're still gonna go for the trained damage or the extra trained damage and trained HP. But you do have a lot of potential with the Nature's Prophet as a carry, for example, if you do want to go for the no teleportation, and that could be the case. Because if Kunkka is not gonna be the hero in the support lane, if Axe is not gonna be offlane, it has to be support, then Kunkka has to be carrier offlane, which is a bit weird. Carrier or mid, sorry. And Nature's Prophet suits himself much better as a carrier or mid, at the very least in the beginning. Because he has the high base attack damage, he can dominate the lane easily, and he can snowball pretty well with items, just needs a bit of items at first. So let's see what happens for Happy Feet. The Prime NND, on the other hand, they have a Tinker that's already been picked up by them. And they will be okay, combining that with their Lifestealer again. No make changes on the Tinker that I recall. Pretty good against the attack from Nature's Prophet. It's actually really good against sustained push that Happy Feet does have. So the Prime NND will be able to heal up themselves pretty perfectly. Let's see what they pick up as their fifth pick though. They still need an offlaner in this situation. They banned the Bad Rider. Bad Rider would have been great. Legion Commander received a considerable buff, especially to her Ags. So you should consider a Legion Commander, for example, with the Prime NND, considering what they have. The Ags, I was not surprised that it was coming back. Clockwork is still in the meta and is actually really powerful against Nature's Prophet. So Clockwork seems like another great option in this case for the Prime NND. Honestly, Clockwork, Legion, I mean, the hell. You have a lot of good heroes. Abaddon is still in the pool, and Abaddon is still powerful. Omnet as well, if you want to go with that kind of build, like with the Lifestealer Tinker. But of course, the easiest thing to play would just be Clockwork. You still don't know what positions Happy Feet is running their heroes, but you do know that they have a Nature's Prophet. You do know that the Axe is going to be somewhat relevant in the game, and magical damage is going to be very powerful against them. You also know that the hookshot is going to catch out the Nature's Prophet every single time. Hey Nerd TV, how you doing? So the Prime NND is always going to be able to catch out Nature's Prophet if they have just a simple sort of team fight right now. But and Clockwork and Legion Commander both fulfill those shoes, but maybe you're afraid because of the update did not really benefit Clockwork too much. But again, yeah, it doesn't matter because you still offer a lot of damage, and that level 20 talent is actually quite good for the Clockwork, especially against Nature's Prophet. So I don't mind it at all. It's an offlane Clockwork, might go for -2, so we might get level 20, level 25, and be relevant this game. Whereas Happy Feet, they need one last pick. It's a mid laner for them, or so they think in the Prime NND, unless again like Kunkka is playing something weird. But if you are going for traditional mid laners against a Tinker, honestly, the Invoker seems okay against the Tinker. You can still go for the traditional Lina. Lina actually works really well in this new meta because it denies. So Lina seems like a good idea, especially against a Lifestealer. The Slaughter can be really powerful against Lina, though, and so is Crystal Maiden. In Lifestealer's case, he's not going to care too much about Lina's damage in the early game because you have no way of trespassing that rage. So you're actually going to be in a bit of trouble. It is Happy Feet, yes. You're going to be in a bit of trouble if you are Happy Feet right now, so maybe you don't want to go for too much of a snowball mid. The Razor still lives in the pool. I mean, I thought the Razor could be a possibility this new patch, but for now he hasn't been picked at all, so we'll see. We'll see for what they pick up for Happy Feet. I mean, they have played Razor in the past. Actually, no, it wasn't Happy Feet, so never mind. Ben-Hur also likes playing Invoker, which is actually quite strong, considering Happy Feet's lineup. He likes playing Templar. Okay. Templar's another hero that got nerfed herself, but her playstyle got buffed in the mid lane, so it's not going to be a bad idea. It's also very powerful against Lifestealer. Doesn't do too badly against Clockwork until he gets Blade Mail. And more importantly, the Tinker suffers quite a lot against Templar. Maybe not in the lane, but later on in the game when the Blink plus Desolator plus Meld Strike, it completely melts him. So, pun intended. That will work out for Happy Feet. What I'm interested in is Jules is on the Kunkka. Yaj on the Nature's Prophet. Who's gonna be the? So is it Kunkka carry? I actually don't know what James plays, to be fair, because he's a stand-in, so we don't know exactly how Happy Feet is going to roll or run this yet. So we still have to get a ballpark on that. We'll see. I mean, for both teams right now, it doesn't seem like it's too bad. The other lineup is completely countered, but you do have the guys from TP NND trusting a lot in older lineups with the Slaughter Crystal Maiden. Something has been quite phased out. No, they might bring him back because of creep aggro change, but I don't think it's enough, especially with the Tranquil Boots nerf that the Slaughter received. Not getting that extra armor is actually crucial for him, and the extra movement speed for Slaughter is absolutely negligible because you have sprint anyway. The Slaughter team in this situation, so the Prime NND relies a lot on this kind of early game snowball so that the enemy team can't destroy your Tinker essentially as well, which is a big problem, because if Happy Feet just decide to start playing aggressively and start winning the mid-late game, or just go for the mid-late game and don't lose the lanes because, sorry, they play defensively in the beginning and they play aggressively in the mid-late game because, you know, you have better heroes, it's super easy to counter your Tinker. And even your Lifestealer doesn't deal that much damage. If you catch him with a Berserker's Call, you actually have a pretty decent amount a pretty decent amount of damage. And you combine the Berserker's Call with, say, a Meld from the Templar Assassin and 1 or 2 hits from the Kunkka, and he's already gone completely. So, well, we'll see how the lanes are being thrown out in the day. Today? Okay. Oh, James Naismith is playing offlane, it seems? Okay. We'll see how the lanes are looking up. That said, my name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today, so let's present the teams real quick before they start hitting each other. As for Happy Feet, we have the guys in the Radiant side. Happy Feet, the Singaporean team, will be running Jesse Vash. Oh, no, sorry. These guys are not Singaporean. These guys are Filipino. Jesse Vash will be on the Warlock in the support position. In the mid lane, Ben-Hur on the Templar Assassin is the carry. I think it seems like James Naismith as the support Kunkka. We have Jules, and then finally in the offlane position, Yaj on the Nature's Prophet. Right, so that's interesting lanes that they're running. Whereas for the Prime NND, we have Mr. Panda as the Crystal Maiden in the support position. In the mid lane, Ruzmanya is going to be styling out as Tinker. As the second support, it's R7 as the Slaughter. Playing the Lifestealer in the carry position is Mr. Oh, he's NFR, sorry. Crystal Maiden's NFR, and then Panda is playing Lifestealer. Okay. And then finally, in the offlane position, we have BF1 on the Clockwork. Okay, that makes sense. So Panda's playing Lifestealer, NFR is playing, in the situation, the Crystal Maiden in the support position. Or we'll just assume that's her name. Because between the stand-ins and the fact that this is one of the least known teams, per se, of the tournament, and I've watched a lot of the Prime NND games, but mostly they end in losses, and they constantly use stand-ins, so it's kind of hard to actually get to know their players after the end of this tournament. Because usually a team uses mostly the same iteration for the tournament, so it's the same team for the tournament, unless they need a stand-in just for one event. But if they're an unstable lineup, they usually just use the same people for the whole tournament. It's easier to play that way, but not in this case, right? Frostbite in the top lane against Yash, now the open wound, so they have a great barrage of stuns and slows, and those trains will not slow down the attack from the Prime NND whatsoever. R7 will draw the first blood, and the Prime NND will happily take that kill against the Nature's Prophet. Yaj already losing quite a lot in this top lane, losing life against a Lifestealer is pretty big a deal. And you are Nature's Prophet. I don't know what the hope is here for carry axe. Actually, maybe it's the axe we were talking about with Vanguard, Link Dagger, and Scepter that I was talking about yesterday when I was looking at the patch notes. Could be. The axe has received some considerable buffs with that Battle Hunger. Offers him much more utility, but also much more damage if you get to level 25 pretty early. You can go to Veil of Discord and an Arcane Boots, and you max that stupid... well, you just max that magical damage. Battle Hunger, obviously. And you first, obviously, still max counter Helix, but then you max Battle Hunger with Arcane Boots, and you spam it as much as you can. Against a team like the Prime NND, it might be pretty effective, because Lifestealer has a hard time killing creeps while he's killing humans, or heroes. Clockwork, similarly. Crystal Maiden as well, because it takes care of quite a long time, so, yeah. It's not bad. Oh, James Naismith wants to fight against BF1 here, but... yeah, the damage from BF1 is considerable enough that James Naismith cannot just dive the tower, use Berserker's Call, but at the same time, the damage from James is also considerable, so that BF1 cannot just stay with him forever with a Battery Assault perpetually. Right, so it doesn't seem to be a Battle Hunger build. That was just my hopes. No, or maybe he just went for a... no, because you would go for the Battle Hunger early on if you could, just because you want to get that extra damage up and, you know, be able to harass the enemy team. Alright. Will be... can Dire beat Radiant is the question. Yeah, currently the idea is, can the Prime NND beat Happy Feet? Because that is what everyone is expecting, that Happy Feet would just win. Happy Feet did go for a pretty weird lineup, relying on Ben-Hur essentially as a carry. And her lane is not bad against a Tinker. She's okay, but she's not particularly good either, because the laser does annoy her regardless. And I think as bot is going to be much, much harder. No. It's Jules that's running into this mid lane. All depends on how well they... oh, are they already stacking at minute 3 instead of minute 2? Was that intentional? Okay, I don't know. Because obviously creeps stack every minute now, but whatever. The point is, I don't entirely know if the guys from Happy Feet have a master plan with this axe as a carry, or they are just planning to run a kind of space grading carry as the axe used to be played. I don't know that this is like a new patch thing, or literally just... I want to create space with the axe, and relying on the TA as your carry is not entirely that bad, as long as you don't go into late game. And it makes sense because you have an axe, right? And you have an axe, and you have a Nature's Prophet push and team fight, so you shouldn't be having too much trouble in terms of winning before the late game happens. But it could happen. It happened that this just leads to late game. Tinker does delay the match enough, and all you'll be doing is being a TA facing against a Lifestealer with a really poor... you have a really poor agility game nowadays. Lifestealer has less agility, obviously, than you, but he does not deal... well, he deals well with the amount of armor you have nowadays, especially with the amplified damage onto him, and you still have to deal with the Tinker. Whereas your whole support, or the other cores that are not TA, are more of a early mid game lineup with the axe and the Nature's Prophet. There might be an Aghanim's axe, and then, you know, I'll shut up. Maybe it's an Aghanim's Octarine Core axe. Oh, it could be, actually, because he did go for 1 level Battle Hunger level 4. So, it actually is uncertain. Right now, the axe is getting a really good lane. They're also harassing the Clockwork lane, but at the sacrifice of Jesse Vash. Yaj is not getting too much out of this lane, mainly going to the jungle to try to recover some last hits, which is honestly not a bad idea if you're the Nature's Prophet, because the lane seems impossible for you. They have a lot of stuns, a stun, a root, and a slow. So that wasn't enough. You can't really do much. And here's the reason. The Kunkka seems to be stacking still at odd numbers, which is weird. I don't know if this is just coincidence, because she should know that we can stack every minute. Should know. Five seconds. Yeah, I don't really understand that. That said, Kunkka in this situation is not able to really get many ganks for now. But he is level 3, so he's not doing that badly in terms of how supports are working, just because he's been working out in the jungle and whatnot. But he should try to get ganks now, especially against the Tinker. Try to help the TA out against the Tinker would be great, or even in the bottom lane try to catch up BF1, because the fact that you're level 3 without getting any ganks is commendable, but it's not what you were looking for anyway. Okay, yeah, they do know that you can stack more than once every odd minute. I don't know why the Ancients haven't been changed, though, or why they think the Ancients haven't been changed, or maybe it's just been coincidence this whole time. Oh well, Xbox the spot, plus Torrent, catches the Clockwork. He still has the cogs, though. They have to catch him in range before the cogs come out. Once the cogs come out of the axe not around him, he can use Berserker's Call, and that Battle Hunger won't do enough damage to actually finish off the Clockwork. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we see a little bit of a TP from Jules trying to catch out the R7. Instead, it's just a TP for the Shrine. Okay, I thought he was coming in with X mark the spot. He could have X marks the spot, Shrine, Torrented, and all that whole time, but obviously he wanted to heal Yaj primordially. And getting that kill on Starter was not guaranteed because all they had was a Sprout afterwards, and the Starter has... Oh no, he would have actually died. No, that's pretty interesting. They did expect the Sprout to be that effective. Oh, X marks the spot, catches out the fish, and they want to put him back in the water with a Torrent put out. The stun is good on R7, but it does not seem like Ben-Hur is interested in this kill whatsoever. Even though they could, frankly. But they just don't want to. Ping out something. I don't really see what they were pinging out here. Oh well, in the middle lane, R7 starts harassing Ben-Hur considerably with a Slithering Crush, and the Guard Speed just going around him. He's just trying to put some dent into Ben-Hur's armor, but honestly, with the refractory charges, it's not going to be that powerful. He already went for 2 levels in side blades early on just to get that extra range. And according to most DA players, that's all you need, apparently. And then you go for 1 level of melt, or maybe, or actually a lot of levels of melt if needed, because minus armor is so great. So he seems to be using Battle Hunger a lot, but I'm not entirely certain if he's still going for the Battle Hunger build. You need Arcane Boots for that kind of thing, and to be able to sustain that much of mono usage. So I still don't think it's going to be an Aghanim's Battle Hunger build, but it could be like mid-game Aghanim's Battle Hunger build. Still, early game, you still need to get the Blink Dagger at some point. I'm just interested in seeing how this axe is going to be used this game, because I've never seen an axe carry, and I don't know if that's a new update thing. Again, like I said. So, Yaj, careful. You already used the Sprout in the top lane. They've used the open wounds of the Frostbite, though, onto him, and the great X marks the spot, prevents the second Frostbite. Jules saves his carry, or off laner, I suppose. And James Naismith talking the cogs, and decides to just take some creeps or some gold out of these cogs. He has a Vanguard, though, to his name, so he's actually really hard to kill very early on. And then they go on to Nature's Prophet. He has a Sprout. So he's going to try to use it, but R7 is stuck in there with him. And Yaj will eventually go down to the damage of Ponda, but they want to get some sort of counter kill. They get the first kill onto the Crystal Maiden with a Cooling Blade. The movement speed bonus is sufficient to reach R7, but there's no mana to actually use any spells to actually catch R7 or Panda. So in the end, it's a support for an offlaner, a favorable trade if you are the prime NND. But a good axe rotation allows him to get a good kill there, and now he can swap lanes with Yaj, which I think was the point all along. He's very, very hard to kill, and he's going for the Blade Mail and Blink Dagger at the same time, just so he, first of all, can deal the extra magical damage, which I guess makes sense, but also because of the extra intelligence the Blade Mail gives, it allows axe to be much more relevant in the early game. And if you go for the 3 mana regen, actually, a Battle Hunger build is even more viable. We'll see now at level 8 if he goes for more points of Berserker's Call, and level 9 as well. If he goes to more points in Berserker's Call, or if he just starts maxing the Battle Hunger, like I said. You don't max Battle Hunger to the damage, by the way. You max it because of the cooldown reduction. I'm just interested in seeing why this axe is carry, essentially. Because it does seem like Nature's Prophet was the original carry. He is going for Midas, so that, if that was the idea, you should have stopped him much sooner than minute 9, and force him to last it under town, right under minute 9. Okay. He is just not that good of a recovery carry. Yeah, sure, the Midas will help him, but you really, really wouldn't want to use it if you can help it. Oh, Berserker's Call with a bit of Battle Hunger as well, but in comes the hook shot, catches out the axe, and he did go for the 2 levels of Berserker's Call. Seems like he's going to start to spin, but James Naismith has no way of thriving this amount of damage. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, R7 comes, I think, for Yaj, and they get a kill as a result. So, James Naismith sacrifices his axe in the top lane in exchange to get a support in the bottom lane. Is it worth it? I'm not entirely sure if the axe is an off lane or a carry, but for now it definitely isn't, because it's their main carry, or the main source of damage. The TA is recovering very well, though, with these ancient stacks that they've been creating for him. And he's trying to stack it again, I can only believe. I really started to think that they must think that it only stacks at odd numbers, because he could have stacked it there, but whatever. They must think the ancients only stack at odd numbers, or it's maybe just a coincidence that they keep not stacking when it's, when it's an even minute. That said, that gets him a lot of farm. So he surpasses the Leicester in terms of farm, which is what he was looking for the whole time. And then go for the Blink Dagger first, and then finish off with a Desolator. Even he said. You know, the private ND, careful, because from below, oh, hook shot from downtown, catches out Yaj with the battery assault in the middle of the cogs. He's stuck in there in the trees with him. He can't TP away. Yaj is just cannon bait. And the private ND will be taking down a Nature's Prophet in the bottom lane, utilizing that hook shot pretty efficiently. Like I said, that clock looks pretty strong against the proper Nature's Prophet. I'm thinking he's making Earnest Shadows maybe with the Infused Raindrops. I'm just gonna keep him as that. It's not a bad item on the Clockwork actually. The Earnest Shadows, the mana regen is really appreciated on you, so you could go for it. You could go for it. X marks the spot, catch the Clockwork, Arcane Boots. They're trying to use the Torrent or the boat, obviously, but they couldn't in time. And in fact, it's a top lane where James Naismith dies to the hands of Panda and the Tinker. That's another death from the Axe. His original net worth and surpassing went to hell. And Jules managed to get a Torrent onto the Clockwork in the bottom lane and kill him off. However, Yaj is receiving a lot of damage with the heat-seeking missiles, has to get help from his trains. Still interested in what build he's going to go for. Axe is definitely going for the traditional Axe build, so it's very disappointing. So I don't understand what the Axe carry pick is. All the speculation was for completely nothing, as the Axe carry pick was just a weird carry pick. Or the Nature's Prophet was the carry, and either way, they're both unsuccessful carry picks because they don't have enough farm. That Midas hopefully helps him enough to recover back into the game, but I don't think it's gonna be what makes the difference here. They kill his trains, and as soon as they get killed, since they were in the area, the creeps respawn because, of course, it was the minute changing. But like I said, right now, the Nature's Prophet is not having much impact, neither is the Axe. The TA is, again, the carry they rely on, but you expect the TA to be this way anyway. I don't think Ben-Hur wants to fight until he has a Desolator to his name to fight the Private ND with, because obviously his last hits are pretty high up, but the Tinker's still going to be quite annoying, and you're going to have to deal with him. Oh no, Jules is dead here. He uses the boat though, actually manages to get it on to BF1 because of the change to the boat. Jules is going to be okay, because Clockwork can't follow a Kunkka too far. Wow, that's actually a pretty strong change to the boat. I didn't realize how powerful it could be if used in, or if you were attacked like that. That said, this is gonna go back. That wasn't the best X marks the spot combo. Usually, yeah, ever since the fountain nerfs and whatnot, it's not that powerful to use the X marks the spot to do that. Anyway, like I said, the TA is looking for Desolator to fight the entire enemy team with the Prime ND. They have the laser to still. She still has the laser to deal with. The Slithering Quest, the Amplify damage. They have a lot of ways to kill her, so the only way she can do of being relevant this game is, or not relevant, but I guess just, you know, doing something this game or being aggressive is by killing the Tinker or whoever first. It's the huge meld per Desolator combo. Get some gold and experience for their team, which is much needed right now, and then snowball from there. You know, keep doing it. Eventually. Oh no, Nature's Prophet is stuck. There's a Sprout, but the Sprout will only put him in the middle of a string of trees with a Life Stealer and a Slaughter. What is that going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. This Nature's Prophet is getting denied left and right. He luckily got a Midas before he died, so that's pretty important. But that Midas will not help him too much right now. The Torrent, catch out the Clockwork. Now the X marks the spot. And the boat hits him right in the face, but with the Infused Raindrops, he barely deals any damage. The Hookshot actually catches out the Axe. The Battery Assault is dealing a lot of damage to him. Slithering Crush will catch him as well. And Amplify damage to increase the physical damage he's taking, but they can't bring him down just yet. In fact, R7 was just mindlessly attacking him while the Berserker's Call was on. In the top lane, Ben-Hur gets a kill onto the Life Stealer. In the bottom lane, they try to go for more, but they don't find anyone. However, that was an interesting well, team fight by Happy Feet. They actually get 2 kills out of that. 1 kill in the top lane just because they allowed the TA to solo the Life Stealer. That's quite important, giving her the space to solo the Life Stealer. I mean, gave her so much support here to Ben-Hur. So congratulations for that. The whole point was that you would force a 4-man. You did a 4-man rotation down bottom. You knew the enemy team would rotate at least 1 to 2 heroes. Life Stealer would be then left alone, or there would be less TPs overall on the team. You go onto him and you kill him in the top lane with your TAs. Or, yeah, your TA skills. Well, in the bottom lane, they do get a kill on the Slaughter regardless, which is pretty good. R7 dying to the Nature's Prophet, giving him a bit extra gold, allowing him to start completing his Orchid. Yeah, not a bad idea. And Jules is starting to be very powerful, actually. This Kunkka early game might not have had that big of an impact because there was no Shadow Demon or anything of the sort to combine it with. The Warlock is not the best support to combine a Kunkka with, but in the mid game he's starting to have a bigger impact, so it actually makes up for his lack of early game. The only issue is he didn't really utilize his high base armor, high base attack damage, etc, 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 but who cares? He still has the great setup right now, and with the boat, he's become very powerful. That boat is a really low cooldown ultimate, and it's so easy to land right now. Oh, Berserker's Call catches out a Crystal Maiden. There's the Battle Hunger onto her as well. Crystal Maiden needs to get away from this, but the Culling Blade will finish her off. and in from behind, they go into the Warlock, and now catching out the poor Jules, who has to use a boat just to stun out the Slaughter. Will get the kill thanks to the Desolator damage. BF1 has to walk away from there. In comes the Tinker again, and he wants to destroy BF1. Sorry, he has to try to Ben-Hur, but he gets caught by Berserker's Call, and Rusman will eventually go down. Calling Blade to finish him off. That is a 4-man wipe by Happy Feet. They're gonna take down the tower in the mid lane as an exchange as well. Only thing left alive, a poor Lifestealer. And I mean poor. Sorry about that. That was not. Sorry about that little message there. Didn't mean to have it open. Right, Yaj taking another tier 1 tower in the mid lane, and now they decide to go for the Roshan. With the Desolator, the double damage, and now, of course, the Melt minus armor. It's really easy to take this Roshan. It doesn't take too much effort, and it gives you a decent amount of gold, but more importantly, a potential cheese later on. And the cheese for a Templar is absolutely fantastic. Getting killed while you don't have refraction, for example, makes you a vulnerable target. In fact, being immobile for what, 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds, I believe, which is what the Aegis leaves you on the ground for, that is really dangerous because the enemy team can set up whatever they want, especially the enemy team, in this case being the Prime NND, because you have the Freezing Field, you have March of the Machines, you have the Slithering Crush, a lot of ways to set you up easily once you get out of the Aegis. However, the cheese, much more powerful on the TA this game, just because of that fact, right? Because they can set you up. So the cheese allows you to have a second life without having to use an Aegis. That was horrendous, by the way, Jules. I can't believe you missed that did not. We saw that. We saw that. I didn't comment on it, but we saw that. Everyone saw it. Alright. For those of you, by the way, that might be having problems in the stream, let's not forget I do upload these videos on my channel, so feel free to check them out there. Just want to say, because a lot of people sometimes have problems with the stream saying it looks fuzzy or whatever, or it's not at 180p, or etc, etc, etc. So, just say that it is, and it is, the source is on 180p, it is 60 FPS, so if you want to watch those, feel free to check out my YouTube channel where I put most of the replays for Happy, or not for Happy Feet, for anyone in the SCA tournament. Right. Rusman will be TPing away from here, no problem, no questions asked. The smoke from the axe might find out R7. No, with a blink, it's quite an easy kill, but they actually have no clue he's there. There's a smoke dispelled by Kunkka. They have high ground vision of them, so they're going to be completely fine. Oh, the Berserker's Call might catch up the starter anyway, and they want to finish off this little fish. The Torrent to bring him back into the sea, and the Calling Blade to bring him back to the dead. As the Happy Feet will ensure 1 kill. Maybe it's only a support, but it is a support initiator. And right now you only rely on your Clockwork, I guess, with his hookshot to initiate, which is not the best of options. The Slaughter is actually really powerful because of his Slithering Crush and his Blink Dagger, right? So, right now, Happy Feet, it's a free tower pretty much for them because of this kill on the Slaughter. Seems like a dumb kill, but hey, it yielded them a free tower after all. And that's another tier 2 going their way. A lot more gold going their way. I mean, I guess less than before, but still a bit of gold going their way. And more importantly, that game domination, that being able to have vision over this area and have control over that Berserker's Call. Oh, sorry, over that blink spot. Over the vision spot around this area, right, is really important as well if you're Happy Feet, because this controls some of your lower jungle, and some of your safest places in the jungle are controlled by this tower. And now you can also go into the mid lane and try to get the racks. That said, Crystal Maiden goes down. That's not a big deal. The boat just, you know, impacted her and killed her. But that was pretty important. And the weird thing was a Tinker there. I don't know if they didn't see the TP or whatever, but that could have been a Berserker's Call. Easy kill for the axe. Now, they TP into this shrine completely blindly unless they put ward specifically in this area, because the tier 2 does not give him vision anymore. And this tier 1 is not good, or this tier 2 is not good enough to give you vision of the shrine. So, Lifestealer in the bottom lane, catches a kill on the Warlock. Jesus fucking Christ. Ben-Hur is, meanwhile, killing off the Tinker. And now, finally, I'll find Panda. Nature's Prophet joining him, sprouting in him. And BF1 catches out 2 with a hookshot to the cogs. It's the both cores, but Berserker's Call will make sure that at least he stays in for the fight, and BF1 will lose his life as a result, but at least they save the Lifestealer from being attacked. That could have been a Berserker's Call for the Lifestealer. That could have been much worse. So Clockwork sacrifices himself, gets his carry to leave out, so leave away without dying. That's pretty good. And for now, It seems like the Happy Feet will take advantage of this lack of clockwork, like I said earlier. Lack of start, lack of clockwork, best time to initiate onto the towers. Oh no, NFR, why are you doing this long range initiation from Kunkka? A torrent and a couple hits from Nez later will ensure this Crystal Maiden goes down. Ben-Hur will start to hit this tower in the bottom lane with the help of Yaj as well. A lot of physical damage coming out from Yaj, by the way, so this Desolator plus the damage on the Nature's Prophet is quite considerable. And right now, the Prime NND will be losing another tower, this time in the bottom lane, losing complete control over this second shrine, by the way, over this second area. They have no towers surrounding it. That was a weird, I don't know why Dota does that. And now they will be going for another set of towers, this time the tier 3 in the bottom lane. They don't give you as much gold, so it's not that worth it to go in. Oh, and the Panda does want to go in onto Jesse Vash. A great sprout. Now the stun from the ultimate. The boat hits the clockwork as well, and he starts giving everyone movement speed. Panda has to retreat as he's been kited around, and he tries to go into the Temple Assassin. She's been disarmed, but the Berserker's Call will catch out Panda. They'll kill first the clockwork, now onto the Life Stealer. He's trying to fight James Naismith, but this is really the best of ideas. The freezing field comes out, but it only lasts for seconds as Ben-Hur stops the dancing Crystal Maiden in the backlines. A simple Tinker is trying to fight everyone, but he's fighting a really strong Nature's Prophet. He's already killed 2. This Tinker is gone. He makes it out alive. The Blink Dagger from the TA is just a bit over the top, and she does miss the Tinker's spot. And because of a simple Blink Dagger mistake, they're actually gonna survive and they even get a kill on the Templar Assassin. They catch her out with the amplified damage, the Slithering Crush. The TP's coming in from the backlines. That is NFR joining into the fray. They have the help of the laser, the Hurricane Pike to give her a bit more vision, a bit more distance, but no. And they go. The stun, the root. They have enough magical damage, and the physical starts piling on as well. And the Prime NND, sorry, will be taking down the TA and making a slight incision in the enemy team's net worth. More importantly, the start of what could be a comeback, maybe. And there's that 4-staff. Yep, that is a 4-staff. It still looks weird to see that in your recipe. And the Shadow Blade for the axe. That's a weird item. That's actually really weird. Why would you go for Shadow Blade in the axe currently? The Silver Edge is not that good this game, so 4-staff I understand because more mobility. But go for Atos, for example. Go for Atos axe. There's so many more valuable options than just more mobility with the Shadow Blade. Access 4-staff, but the bomb is coming out from R7. This is dangerous. Happy Feet will not be happy letting this slide. Careful, because the Prime NND are at their prime position to strike. They have a hookshot available, and the Clockwork can attack anyone, really. Both Jules and Jesse Vash will die if the hookshot catches him. But of course, they need the help from the Life Stealer, and now they lost the bomb. So the Clockwork is now just initiating from behind. He has perfect vision. The Berserker's Call catches the Life Stealer. But where is the boat? A bit too late. Life Stealer already used Rage. He's magic immune, so he won't be attacked too much by this Temple Assassin, who's also been Heaven's Halberded, by the way. Now they go on to R7. R7 does die, but the axe will catch the Tinker before he can TP away. They want to kill him in time. They start healing up the axe, but the laser and the heat-seeking missile destroy both him and the Nature's Prophet. It's only the TA fighting against the Life Stealer right now. 1v1, but that Heaven's Halberd is so goddamn annoying. Now with the Hurricane Pike, he wants to get the meld off, but he won't be having vision of the Life Stealer, and the Tinker comes back into the fray, and the Prime and ND are slowly taking this team fight because of the really deplorable lineup that Happy Feet chose. Because of the Berserkers, because of the Axe and the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet as a carry is just not working out for them, and even when the TA joins in, she lacks that initiation to really kill off a Tinker because there's no long stuns, and Ben-Hur is the only one to survive every single team fight. So right now, the Prime and ND might actually come back in this best of 3. Just because of your draft, your questionable draft, which is not working out for you right now. That Orchid on the Nature's Prophet is very close to coming by, though. It's only 200 away, and once he gets it, maybe that's what he needs to attack the Tinker, because that silence is going to be very powerful on a Tinker who has no way of dispelling it, because there's no Lotus Orb or Manta style or anything of that sort, right? So that's an important factor to recall. And the Orchid now is not as, or the Bloodthorn is not as strong, has received the recent nerf. The Orchid actually has a pretty decent cooldown now, all things considered, with 18 seconds, because the Bloodthorn has the same cooldown, so it's much more valuable of an item to just keep at Orchid. And that was a quick bomb on the Life Stealer. I love the Heaven's Halberd build, by the way. I haven't talked much about this, but the Heaven's Halberd build has been destroying the TA this whole game. It's undispellable, actually, right now by absolutely anything. Only 80-second cooldown, so it's like an Orchid essentially, but without the extra damage, so you don't have that much, you know, offensive capabilities with the Heaven's Halberd. But in the team fight, when you're fighting 1 versus 1, especially when the enemy team is relying so much on just one carry, man, Lifestealer is enjoying this. And the extra evasion is great because there's nobody on the enemy team that has Solar Crest just yet to grant the true sight, right? So, yeah, nobody went for Solar Crest, not even close. The Kunkka actually went for Mechanism, which is a bit weird, granted. He's actually going for Guardian Gears too, but again, the Kunkka should either go for Armlet build, which is the Lot M build, or try to improve his initiation with the Blink, Ether Lens, Force Staff, especially now that the boat is much more responsive. You actually have greater amount of team fights, so trying to go for the Ether Lens, for example, Blink, Dagger, Force Staff is a bit more effective. Oh, the Axe wants to catch the Crystal Maiden. Easy Berserker's Call, starts spitting, and Culling Blade to finish her off. Meanwhile, top lane, they actually find out the Tinker in the trees, and they finish him off before he can move. The Prime and NND lose a very valuable target, and pretty much was winning them all the team fights for 80 seconds, as he has no Bloodstone on him. That's going to be quite grave for the Prime and NND, as they might lose more towers as a result of this. And it does seem like Happy Feet don't want to let these towers go. The tier 3 starting to, you know, get a bit of damage shipped onto it. They want to kill the Crystal Maiden as well with the Hurricane Pike. They'll manage to do so. Bye-bye Freezing Field. Not that it's that powerful spell anymore, but, you know, it's good to get rid of it regardless in the team fight. The Tinker stalls 50 seconds. They don't want to force the buyback, obviously. Now the Tinker finally buys back, and they say, let's fight. Happy Feet needs to suffer this. I mean, we just got a buyback. However, Happy Feet knew what they were doing. They know the Tinker was beating them every single team fight. They're going to wait to catch him out again. And for now, they're just not going to even take the tier 3. It's not as valuable anymore. The buybacks are now much more valuable because of their 8-minute cooldown. So that was a wise trade for Happy Feet. They wanted to take a tier 3 than the Shrines, but sadly it's not going to be the case. The Shrines still give you a considerable amount of gold, by the way. It's still a 1250 if I'm not mistaken, so it's not bad. It's just not as much as before. But the difference in total, that's both Shrines given to the team, right? So the total gold both Shrines give is 1250. But nowadays it's... But, sorry, the difference between now and before was only 250 difference for the whole team. And for each person, that's really just the 50 difference. So the Shrine's still very powerful. But a tier 3 is slightly less valuable in terms of taking it because your net worth is increased by that much. Orchid also coming out on the Templar. Or BKB as well, ready to use it on the Tinker. But, oh, there's the Nature's Prophet. That's not how you want to initiate your team fight, really. In fact, might want to retreat here, even though this is Mokank. Oh, they catch at the slaughter, though. That could be an easy kill. The Torrent also ensures this kill happens, and that is an easy kill on the slaughter. That's true. The enemy team loses a bit of their initiation, but you lost your Nature's Prophet in exchange, so that's definitely not worth it. A possible hookshot, catches out the Kunkka, and the Kunkka has no way of retreating this, but he does have a mechanism, can't even use it in time. The Torrent doesn't hit anyone, and now BKB gets activated by the Templar Assassin. Berserker's Call catching out the poor Lifestealer. They catch out the Clockwork, sorry, quickly with the damage to the TA, but James Naismith might just go down. The Open Woods to heal up the Lifestealer as well. There's no way James Naismith can survive this, and Happy Feet again have to retreat with the TA withstanding, and so the Warlock, but however, both their carries die again. Or both their cores die again. The only real carry that's surviving here is Ben-Hur, but he can't carry the game on his shoulders by himself. It's really just him right now. And you're waiting for perhaps the Prime NND to make a mistake in how they're operating in the team fights and lose the Lifestealer or lose the Tinker, but that's the only way you can actually win these team fights because of how weak this kind of lineup is. In fact, if they catch out Nature's Prophet or again, if they catch out anyone in Happy Feet in the beginning, that's not the Warlock, pretty much the team fight's lost for them. However, they can get a lot of Aegis, and this also gives you cheese. The second Roshan should give them cheese. Oh, there it is. There's the cheese. I was gonna say, what the fuck is the cheese? The cheese is on to the Templar Assassin now, which is pretty good. She has had to go for both eggs and cheese. Honestly, in the team fight now, Ben-Hur can play super aggressively. And he did go for the Orchid anyway, so he's able to stop the Tinker now a bit more effectively. And Tinker, again, has no way to dispel that Orchid, but does have a Bloodstone to respond a bit sooner. Let's see what Happy Feet are up to, really, with this Aegis and Cheese. It depends. Oh, Cheese is going to be getting to the Axe. Okay, I like that idea even better because the Axe survives a bit more. The Crimson Guard works really well with him. I still would suggest the Axe. In fact, the Axe on the Tinker would be lethal, because taking away 30% of the damage with a 50% cooldown, that's not bad at all. Not 50%, sorry. 5 second cooldown. 5 second cooldown, being able to take away 50% of the damage that Tinker does, 30% of the damage Tinker does. I mean, that's not bad, and he's going to kill creeps, but if you fight it around not creeps, Battle Hunger is undispellable until he kills someone. And that's the whole point of Battle Hunger, preventing him from killing someone. There's 2 Bloodthorns coming out, though, on this team of Happy Feet. Not know if I'm entirely a big fan of these early Bloodthorns. Again, it's not that powerful of an item anymore, so not enough to rush it at least, but they're still going for them. And against a Tinker, I suppose that the Orchids are strong anyway, so it's not too bad to upgrade to a Bloodthorn. It's only a 3,000 gold difference once you get the Orchid to get extra critical and whatnot. For the TA, it makes perfect sense because you don't have that many slots anyway, so there's not that many items you want to get. For the Nature's Prophet, I would like to see something better than Bloodthorn, honestly. Yeah, Maelstrom or Mjolnir or something like that to get a bit more pushing power. They're threatening high ground though. Happy Feet is threatening high ground, but against this March of the Machines, it's a bit hard. Torrent does catch out the life steal. So, no. There's the X marks the spot into Ben-Hur. So they're going to start this now with the Kunkka. It's pretty powerful, but the laser makes it kind of hard. And now the Hurricane Pike, the Frostbite, careful, and Panda is forced to use his rage. This will be the prime time to attack him, by the way, once he's used his rage. Because this is, you know, he's vulnerable for the next couple seconds. That's why the March of the Machines are now much more advanced. Ben-Hur, again, they help him out with the Xbox spot from behind. A hookshot comes in and catches out Jules. Then the Tinker also joins in, but the Warlock impacts with his ultimate and he drops the base onto the clock who's about to go down. However, Jules will not survive here. Yes, he will, thanks to a beautiful Berserker's call by Naismith, sorry. It stops the damage onto Jules, and they keep going onto Panda. That Torrent X marks the spot is only possible thanks to James Naismith, and they force Panda to go into a creep. Meanwhile, the TA in the backlines has already lost their Aegis, still wanted to kill the Life Stealer, and the Life Stealer comes out, goes onto the TA, the Berserker's Call catches 2, but the Freezing Field already came out. The Slaughter is dead, but Ben-Hur was about to die there. She has to silence the Life Stealer, Charlotte dealing some damage, but she doesn't have a Bloodthorn just yet, and Nefar will not die to the Battle Hunger damage, but the Torrent catch out the Life Stealer again. The laser is so annoying, make it so that Ben-Hur can't hit anything today, and everyone has to retreat for Happy Feet. Only the Axe lost for a, oh, the hook shot actually catches out the PA. Or the TA, sorry. No, good melt plus blink. Good melt plus blink. That's it. That was a weird team fight where I do believe that Happy Feet lost because of losing the Axe there. They lost the Aegis as well early on. I didn't even cast the Aegis losing because I was so concentrated on seeing what was happening in the back lines, and obviously the Prime NND was just screwed in the beginning because the Life Stealer wasn't with them, right? And they even forced Life Stealer into a really bad position, but they're still lacking damage against this Life Stealer. In fact, I do believe that, as opposed to the second Bloodthorn, a Daedalus might have been better for this Templar Assassin, just for the damage, because the silence is good, and having 2 silences is pretty great, but you're really not coordinating that well, and one of your silences is just not coming out, so it's something to be considered here. Would like to see. I still like to see the Axe on this guy. Still think it's pretty good, honestly. Jesse Vash, careful because they want to go onto him with a sprinted Slaughter. Seems like an easy kill if they catch up Jesse Vash. However, yeah, the enemy team has a pretty good understanding right now of how the game is going. Oh, hookshot almost grabbed. So Happy Feet is not playing too aggressively here. In fact, oh, what is he doing? Oh, okay. Josh is actually split pushing. I've never seen this before. X marks the spot with a Yaj split pushing. Oh, that's a pretty clever idea, honestly. If you take away the teleportation cooldown, that could happen almost constantly because the auto delay is 8 seconds, so you can actually do that all the time. That's not a bad idea. For the late game, I like that. Nature's Prophet has still that backup plan. That's the one thing that we didn't really consider, which is that Happy Feet might not be the strongest team coming the late game or even in the team fights, etc., and they are losing a lot against the Tinker. But come the late game, you'll still have the versatility strategy that the enemy team lacks. Oh no, that's just a smoke for a Crystal Maiden. That's not what you wanted. Kill her in 2 hits if you can. And the Rocket Flare to start to initiate on you. They're going to go for Shrines now. That's what they wanted, at least. Take a Shrine. You know, you did lose the smoke to Crystal Maiden, but at least you take a Shrine, a couple Ancients, not too bad. Overall, you're quite satisfied with this incursion. And with this, like I was saying, Happy Feet in this situation are, again, looking for a bit of split pushing and the versatility in the strategy. They're trying to utilize that Kunkka plus Nature's Prophet combo pretty well. I never really realized that because of the teleportation cooldown, you know, not existing anymore if you go to level 25, but it can definitely work. He is going for the damaging Nature's Prophet build with a Shadow Blade as well to build up some damage, and then I'm supposing Silver Edge afterwards. And then getting Mjolnir or even a Desolator would not be that bad of an idea. Assault Cuirass perhaps is the best compromise for both, as you get the minus armor, but you also get the extra attack speed. And it'll be really good against these towers. Absolutely fantastic, because the enemy team can't really stop split pushers that well except with the Tinker, but of course you are faster than the Tinker. And even though they can predict where you're coming, really all they can do is start setting up March of the Machines in time. That's all they can do. And now this is very annoying, but overall the BKB will eventually come on Yaj. Eventually stacking will be good enough to just last for a long time, so it's fine. He didn't get X marks the spot here when he went bottom. I don't know why he did that then. I mean, yes, he still has the teleportation, he has to go top, so that's fine. We've already destroyed all tier 2, so honestly, Happy Feet don't really have many objectives that are outside the base. The only objective left is this last shrine, and this last shrine is going to be taken swiftly by them. Full extra rocket flare damage for the clockwork. The temple will start hitting this shrine now. Using the Desolator for the extra damage. It's pretty easy actually to destroy the shrine, like I said. That's why I want Desolator on Nature's Prophet, because his damage is considerable, but of course he doesn't have the extra minus armor or strat to go against towers. But well, for now he's being quite effective. That was a great illusion room, by the way. Clearing out whole creep waves, forcing the Tinker to actually TP down bottom, just so you know the Nature's Prophet can push as well in the bottom part of the lane. Axe gets a lot of farm out of it. That's good. Axe himself's going for Shadow Blade. I don't think everyone going for Shadow Blade is good, honestly. In fact, I would only suggest going for the one Shadow Blade and the Nature's Prophet, or else it'll stop being effective. But okay, Axe is still pretty determined. I think the Shivas, the Aghanims, the Lotus Orb on Axe, so many better options. Yeah, they want to go for the Xbox the spot thing now again. You know, using the refraction, the Yule Scepter, they try to make it so that she can't actually X, but the Kunkka has complete control over that. Honestly, unless the Kunkka plays really greedily, they're not going to ever be able to catch you. And all you have to do is chip at this tower, really, or chip at this tower, and they can constantly move between the towers because the lanes can stay really pushed because of the Nature's Prophet, so it's not like they're really at the mercy of the Tinker's push in the pushing lanes. Oh no, what did R7 just do? Try to catch out a carry or something like that. Yep, instead he gets hit by the bow, and the Lifestealer stays for as long as he can so he doesn't get hit by the bow, but Panda now comes out smacking, and it does seem like the TA has been disarmed. She wants to go onto Panda regardless if the Xbox the spot, catches him with a torrent, the Berserker's Call, that's so many stuns coming onto one, and even the golem brought down onto Panda, but they kill the clocker by accident. Panda still fighting for his life here, and he goes back into another creep to regen some health, goes to James Naismith, almost kills himself because of blade mail, and in comes the last help from the TA. No need for it, as the Warlock will just get a lucky kill in the middle of the armlet tuggles and finish him off with the golem. Now Ben-Hur fighting near the enemy base. The March of the Machine starting to come out, and Ruzman catches them with a Yule Scepter. Careful, Ben-Hur has to run away from Panda with a Hurricane Pike. She'll be fine, but in the top lane, the golem was already starting to push, and they want to go for these towers first. They've orchided this, this Panda. Now Berserker's Call as well. The torrent catching out the Tinker. That will be the primary objective. They have no BKB, so they can't actually fight the Tinker two-hand-on right now. In fact, they're gonna go to the TA. Ben-Hur might go down here. The Hurricane Pike helps strike considerably, but the boat won't impact anything. James Naismith right now with the amplified damage couldn't be caught out, but instead decides to go back in the middle of the March of the Machines. He's playing very dangerously here, as the heat-seeking missiles will kill him anytime. The Tinker goes in. He still has the blade mail. Gonna use the Yule Scepter, but the help from Jules might ensure that this Kunkka survives. That X marks the spot. Too annoying. James Naismith does the Berserker's Call. Won't catch him with it. In fact, he might just die down to the infest damage. But Ben-Hur might get a contract heal with this, as the Bloodstone tonight comes out. The Bloodstone has to be used because of Temple Assassin's damage. She's been having halberded. In comes Yash. Sprout onto the Templar Assassin, forced to be stop attacking because of the hook shot, and now they're gonna see him with a dust. And BF1 wants to kill the Nature's Prophet, but he's just going away. They catch him in the trees. Also, the poor Templar Assassin finally goes down, and the Kunkka, last surviving member of this team, will be brought down thanks to the Crystal Maiden's Frostplate. So, Happy Feet. Wow. What to say about them? That was not too great for them. They took only an Ranger Axe in the top lane, That was it. And even though they have a superior net worth, and they did win that team fight seemingly in the beginning, they were forced to buy back out of the Tinker, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they did force a buyback out of the Tinker in the team fight, which is good. Forcing the buyback out of Lifestealer, I believe, in that team fight as well, which is pretty good. So in the end, Happy Feet did lose the engagement at the very end, but obviously the whole overall thing was won by themselves, because they did lose all their 4 cores, and it was a team wipe pretty much, and the gold as well. But at least the Prime NND was forced to use buybacks, and a lot of their team died too, so it's not that weak. Jesse Vash, what are you doing? He has Bard of Athos too. Wow, that was not expected. Actually, what are you doing, Jesse Vash? Just walking around invisible. Walking around at the invisible sound. Nobody can beat me because I'm Warlock. See if there's someone from behind that. Did he actually just fucking kill the courier? Did he just kill the courier? Jesse Vash, a goddamn Warlock, killed the courier. I mean, he's worth less than the courier, I think. How much did they get? I'm not entirely sure. I think he's worth less than the courier still. How much? 708, and the courier gave you 175 times 5. Yeah, you get more. Yeah, 5 times 75 is around 350, so you get like 150 more gold. Yeah, it was a worthwhile kill, I suppose. Torrent, did they catch out the Lifestealer? Ooh, the Battle Hunger not enough, and the Bloodthorn could have almost killed him. Had they caught him out with the... Oh, wait, the Meld? That's a lot of damage to Panda, but he can just armor talk with that, so it's not that hard. He still has Aegis anyway. And that Berserker's Call, if they catch him out with Berserker's Call, he would have been dead for sure. He went to the 25 health region. I do hope he goes to the 100 Battle Hunger DPS regardless. I think that build is just so good. He's going for Shivas now, which is fantastic. However, that Shivas comes after... Oh no, he actually decides to stop going for the Shadowblade and decides that Shivas is the better option. Very smart, considering Shadowblade is actually quite weak against Lastarter in general, because he's going to get Gem eventually. He benefits so much from Gem because he can just see you with amplified damage. So, alright, let's see. Yash continues to push his lane of creeps, getting a Diffusal Blade as his next item, it seems. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Ben-Hur showing off his damage, even without the Refraction. Desolator actually taken away. So it could be that Yaj just goes for Desolator next, or it could be an idea to go for Desolator. Assault Caress would also be very nice for this Nature's Prophet. Just increases pushing power, honestly, because right now it's kind of weak, and he can't really utilize the X marks the spot combo too well. I would like to see more X marks the spot teleportation, but I'm assuming that's more of a level 25 thing when you don't have cooldown on teleportation, and you can just go in and out, in and out, in and out with X marks the spot. That's pretty cool. And let the Kunkka just stay in base, and you just attack towers, the ultimate rat Dota with that Nature's Prophet. He's not as effective nowadays, like I said, because obviously Deathball push has been more favored, but Nature's Prophet is a good hybrid strategy of both. So I don't know why I didn't say that. I said that last night when I was doing patch analysis. I mean to say that nowadays the Deathball push is a bit, or because of the patch, Deathball push kind of style, it's been more favored. Like in Brewmaster, Nature's Prophet benefit much more from this, and heroes like Terrorblade or Nagasara Illusions are very weak now against towers, which is good. And of course, the sustained push has been nerfed in the sense that it's not as good. That's what nerf it means, obviously. But in the sense that now the sustained push of you know, I'm gonna hit this tower for quite a while and then eventually it'll go down, doesn't work as well. Team fights are much more favored, and winning a team fight yields you these results. And with the TA, it's definitely possible. So the only thing Nature's Prophet has to do right now is trying to get more items so that sustained push becomes more viable. Oh, are they going for Rax? Well, that Desolator, this seems like a dangerous choice. There's nobody around here. They put a ward down. Jules sees exactly what the enemy team sees. Sentry as well. So they actually see absolutely no one. The smoke hasn't been dispelled. Jules finally finds out a slaughter. And might catch him on the torrent. No, good Blink Dagger in time. They want to put him into fillets anyway. Panda using his rage. And the hookshot comes out. Catches the TA. She's been Heaven's Halberd. She has no way of escaping this. The rock comes down though to help her out. And even the both. The Star and the Lifestealer. Will they time that perfectly? They will. Both the Star and the Lifestealer get timed out. And the Clockwork dies first. The Root catching up Panda. The Xbox spot also dispelled by that whole rage thing. And Heaven's Halberd's so annoying. Jesus Christ, this TA. All they want to do, though, is find the Crystal Maiden. They stun her, and with this, easy kill onto Pana. No, the Ghost Hunter might save her life. The Blood Thrower to the Lifestealer. He's going to lose his Aegis here just because of the damage the TA is putting out. No, he's actually going to conserve it. The Aegis is about to expire, though. How much is left? Oh, only has 46 seconds left, so it's not in their benefit to kill his Lifestealer. In fact, they lost the Nature's Prophet, but they can just leave the Lifestealer alone. He lost his Aegis already. Okay, well, that was too quick. Tempo, that's too quick. You didn't even give me time to cast that. Jesus Christ. Okay, it doesn't really matter because 46 seconds till the Aegis goes away. So now they're what they're planning on doing. Oh, okay. is it? Now there's 2 runes, by the way. Haste and Regen, apparently. Axe is just brought back thanks to Kunkka's strategy. Can you do it on the Warlock as well? No, Warlock doesn't want to come back, so that was weird. It seems like they weren't really on the same page. Shadowblade finally coming out of Slardar. That's pretty good. Now he can initiate much better with Lifestealer inside him. However, they didn't take any racks though, so this should be mentioned. They took the Aegis and stuff, I guess, which is not really that relevant, like I said, and a couple support kills, but that's it. No racks. By the way, Ben-Hur has MKB, which I think just came out, if I'm not mistaken. So that MKB will be really prime rib stuff for to kill off this lifesteal. It's been really annoying until now, so I think she can deal a bit more damage with it now. I think she had it for the last team fight though, I'm pretty sure. Which explains why the lifestealer was falling much easier. R7 is really answering for the kill, and he is not too far out. With a gem, you can see the enemy sentries and you can see enemy gems, but they do have a gem on the Kunkka, so he can't just walk in. He has the blink dagger in. Jules using the pipe. Oh, no, sorry. It seems Nathan's using... No, who used the fucking pipe? Someone used the pipe. And now they go onto the Kunkka. That's an easy kill for them. Lifestealer just eats him right up. But the objective here is the Tinker. He's been rooted, and they want to kill him before he unroots himself. However, the blinks and the rearms are just so annoying to deal with. So right now, Happy Feet will lose a lot. In fact, the TA might be the next victim for them. They stunned her out for quite a long time. They've also haven't halbered her, and Lifestealer will hit her twice and melt her down. As R7 now catches Jessie Vash, she has the gem. Jessie Vash, no problem. Easy kill. First bash and killed. Whereas the axe from James Naismith will make it out alive just by pure chance, honestly. Finally, he buys the Shivas, which is good, really good for this Happy Feet team. But regardless, all their net worth kind of relies on the TA right now. TA gets a lot of help from the Moonshard, but right now, Assault Crest on Yaj, that's what they need right now. They need a bit of pushing power. That Diffusal Blade might help him a lot in terms of damage, especially with the Bloodthorn onto you and the extra attack speed that the Diffusal Blade gives you. It's pretty good. But the whole point here, I think, is to just push out structures. During this whole engagement down in the bottom lane, that they just probably managed to push down this tower up top, and now they want to go down bottom as well, or in the mid lane, because they pushed down the tier 3s as well. So the problem NND is in a situation where they're kind of stuck, where they think that the Tinker is really useful, but since he's so useful in team fights, he actually can't split push as well, or do the split pushing tactics as well. Oh, do they see this? They don't! This could have been a fantastic kill. Ruzwan might just still die though. Berserk's Call catches him out, and then comes Yash. They have the silence, so they're going to use it. Bloodthorn onto the Tinker. A magnificent kill for the guys at the Prime NND, who take away the Tinker with amazing backdoor protection. Now the TA can fight much more freely. He's forced to buy back into the game. That's really risky. As the boat comes in, catches Pond out. They're just trying to delay this a bit. X marks the spawn into him as well. And they're just trying to delay this as best as they can. Jules deals a pretty good amount of damage. Ooh, Berserk's Call catches the life stealer. I don't think that's the best of idea though. It turns into a hog, and there's the rock drop. No TA to deal the damage though. So the poor axe will go down. And Jessie Vash, also chased down by Panda, is an easy job for Panda. Just decides to let him live pretty much. As BF1 in this bottom lane. Oh, gets help from the TA. And there's the silence plus the great Hurricane Pike, or Force Staff to put him in an offensive position. Almost dies down to only the Bloodthorn damage. The TA will eventually finish him off. They keep Hurricane Piking her just to save her life, and then comes the second boat. Hits Panda right in the face. Also, the Crystal Maiden was trying to face in field, so her ultimate gets cancelled as a result, and now it's within a trait for Yash, and Panda comes right out of the trait, tries to attack Yash, and instead goes for Jessie Vash, but he's getting kited all around. Those Glimmer Caves, very powerful, and he's gonna pick up the gem before he leaves, but they have vision of him. They have vision, and X marks the spot, plus the silence, the Torrent to catch him out. A second possible silence of Nature's Prophet. There's no need for it. Panda keeps attacking with a rage. He's actually lasting so long with the Heaven's Hammer. It's impossible to finish him off. And Panda is healing himself back up to full health, but the Torrent hits him and stops him from killing TA. The Tinker says, fuck it. This is a much easier option than this goddamn life stealer, and just kill the Tinker and get it done with. And now Panda, stuck in the trees without a Quelling Blade or a family to call his own. Panda is gonna die finally on the floor of the Happy Feet Radiant base. Jesus goddamn Christ, that pissed me off watching him survive so much. Sorry about that. They just went for the Tinker. That's how long it took him to kill him. And the Tinker, they know right now the Tinker has no buyback, because of course he wasted it earlier. And the Bloodstone doesn't have that many charges, so he's actually gonna take a while dead. Meanwhile, Axe is pushing down the bottom lane best he can. Nature's Prophet's also joining in. I don't know why he was in the jungle. Finally joins into the trees. Has the Sprout combo, but instead it's in Silver Edge someone probably. Lifestealer can still do damage though. Slaughter catches out the Professor. Hulk shot, careful though. Not the best Hulk shot. Impact him with a boat. And now the Berserker's call. They caught out both. The torrent hits him as well. James Naismith is just tanking out all the damage to kill the Slaughter first. And the Shivas as well to slow them down. Panda can't go anywhere. The Battle Hunger stops down BF1. Jules can't quite get the kill, but they're gonna finish him off just with a torrent, and James Naismith damage. Now with a silence onto the Slark, onto the Lifestealer, sorry. And finally, the Sprout to finish out the Crystal Main. That's a team wipe, guys. Happy Feet will be taking in number 1, thanks to the GG call by the Prime NND. Happy Feet will be taking game number 1 in the best of 3, but we will be coming back shortly with game number 2. Hope you've enjoyed the cast. If you did, feel free to follow me on Twitter at DSwordfish. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments below. Let's not forget that I have all the replays for these games on YouTube, so feel free to follow me on Twitter to find them out. And I'll be back shortly with game number 2 between Happy Feet and the Prime NND, seeing if Happy Feet can take a 2-0, or if the Prime NND can at least tie it and bring it back to a 2-1, which is what they would like to do. As I said, guys, I'll be back very shortly. My name's been DSwordfish, and enjoy some tunes while we wait.